8 Biggest Misconceptions About Weight Loss 2021. Weight loss is one of the main objectives for people buying treadmills. There are many different opinions and writings about the biggest misconception about weight loss, and the sad thing is that most of them are completely unsubstantiated. People love following gimmicky diets and fads and are then disappointed when they don't see any weight loss occurring. If you are thinking of starting the process of losing weight and want to ensure that you actually lose weight, read on. Here is the top list of the biggest misconception about weight loss 2021. 1. You need to follow a type of diet. This is constantly the biggest misconception about weight loss out there when it comes to weight loss. You'll find out about multiple types of diets on the internet, paleo, keto, and much more. In reality, you do not need to follow a particular type of diet to lose weight. You just need to eat less. Think of weight as a simple equation between the food you eat and the weight you put on. You lower the amount of food you eat and the amount of weight you have will also go down. This is a very problematic misconception because it causes people to think that dieting would be too hard. It is hard enough to control how much we eat. To completely change what we eat makes the job even harder. Just use some common sense and you will be good. Try to lower the amount of greasy and salty food you eat. It is always a good idea to eat healthily and to get your nutrition from vegetables and fruits, but even if you keep eating meat but in lower quantities, you will start seeing a huge change in your weight. The different gimmicky diets barely make a difference. 2. Smoking helps with weight loss. This is also the most damaging and biggest misconception about weight loss. Many people think smoking ends up killing your craving for food and thus helps you lose weight. If you don't smoke, then do not begin smoking to lose weight. It might help with the cravings at first, but what it ends up doing to you is much worse than being fat. Being fat puts you at the risk of heart diseases, joint pain, cholesterol problems, and more. Smoking puts you at the risk of cancer, which is infinitely worse than anything that fat can do to you. Another problem is that smoking seriously lowers your stamina. So if you try to smoke, you will have trouble exercising, which will make it harder for you to lose weight. 3. You start seeing changes instantly. This biggest misconception about weight loss is what drives people away from exercise. People get committed to the idea and start putting in an effort. In the beginning, it seems like it is working, but then a month goes by with barely any changes to the person's body. This ends the motivation they had and they go back to eating unhealthily and not exercising. You need to understand that it will take some time for your body to start adjusting. The first thing to go will be the water weight. This is just the water that has been retained by your body. This is the reason you see a dramatic loss in the first or second week of exercising. Then for the next month, it will seem like all that exercise and dieting is going nowhere. The reality is that it takes some time for your body to start the process of breaking down the fat stored in your body. The fat stored contains nutrients and more. Once your body realizes that you are not going to overstuff yourself before it starts breaking down the fat to use it. Remember, you will not see much of a difference in the first 6 weeks, but once your body gets primed for weight loss, you'll be surprised at how fast you lose all that extra weight. 4. It feels great. This biggest misconception about weight loss comes from fit people who exercise regularly. To motivate you, they will tell you how great it feels to exercise. You'll read about how great it feels to run and how it makes them feel so fresh and active. Only, when you start exercising, it will feel terrible. Many people start thinking that maybe exercise just isn't for them because it feels so bad. You are trying to change the way your body deals with weight. You are putting it to work harder than you have before. It will feel terrible in the beginning. You'll want to quit because of how bad it feels. The reality is that after a month or two it will start feeling great. You just have to toughen yourself up and fight through the beginning phase to start feeling good about it. There's a thing called the runner's high. People who run for a good distance end up feeling very good, almost like they are on some type of a light drug. This isn't just in their heads. Running releases chemicals in the brain which makes it feel happy. It is just one of the ways our body motivates us to become fitter and better. 5. You can sweat it out in a sauna. This one is just weird. Many people think that if they sit in a sauna for a long time and get sweaty, it will result in a lot of weight loss. Studies have shown that this doesn't work. It reminds us of cargo cults. During World War II, There were many Allied forces on different missions in Africa. They interacted with many people who didn't know much about planes and were fascinated by them. After the war, the planes stopped coming. Some tribes ended up creating runways. They thought that since the planes only came on runways, so by creating runways, they would attract cargo planes. This biggest misconception about weight loss. Saunas is just like the cargo cult mentality. It is good if you sweat it out because you are exercising hard. You can't just skip the exercise part and think that sweating will result in weight loss. Things don't work like that. 6. Sugar is only in dessert and candy. This is probably the most damaging and biggest misconception about weight loss for people trying to lose weight. We all know that sugar is bad for us and can cause a whole lot of problems. Many people start avoiding desserts and candy when they start dieting, which is a good move. The problem is that sugar is much more prevalent than we think. Sugar is in foods that we don't even think it would be in. For example, ketchup is overloaded with sugar. A single tablespoon of sugar contains more sugar than a chocolate chip cookie. So if you love ketchup and pour lots of it on a burger or fries, you added 3 to 4 cookies worth of sugar without even knowing it. The only solution is to start researching products on the internet to find out how much sugar they contain and cutting as much out of your diet as possible. 7. You need to push yourself hard. This is also another biggest misconception about weight loss that causes a lot of people to quit exercise and go back to being fat. It has become even worse due to CrossFit, which often encourages people to push themselves beyond their limits. You do not need to push yourself from the start. All that you will accomplish is that you will end up hating yourself and you put yourself at risk of injuries. If you aren't used to exercising, you need to start slow. As you get used to it, you can keep pushing yourself harder and harder until you find out your limits. Don't overwork yourself to the point where you start having medical problems. If you start having trouble breathing, then you know that you are pushing yourself much harder than your body can accept. 8. Exercise is the most important part of weight loss. This might seem strange coming from us, but this biggest misconception about weight loss has led to many people failing at weight loss. Exercise is a necessary component of losing weight, but diet is much more important. Even if you didn't exercise but you focused on dieting, you will end up losing weight. This doesn't mean that you should stop exercising. There are still a lot of benefits to it. It makes the whole weight loss process much faster. It also ends up giving your body a better shape. It is possible to lose weight but not look very fit because your body shape isn't right. If you run, your body will lose weight in the right way and you'll end up looking fit. Exercise is also great because it helps you be more active. I hope these simple and easy tips give you a good knowledge about the biggest misconception about weight loss. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share for more updates. And do click the notification bell.